During the latter half of the 24th century, Starfleet developed several new Starship designs with experimental technology. One of these was the Dauntless-class, which was actually inspired by a fake Starfleet vessel first encountered by the Intrepid-class USS Voyager when it was stranded in the Delta Quadrant. Upon Voyager's return, Starfleet seemed to take inspiration from this fake starship and design their own, even installed with an experimental Quantum Slipstream Drive. But what other features did this ship have? Welcome to Trek Central, I'm your host, Captain Jack, and let's get into it. Before we do warp into this video, if you want to keep up to date on the latest Star Trek news, lore and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media for daily updates on the Star Trek universe. We're enjoying making these Star Trek videos on various topics, and we hope you are too. If you want to support their development, please join our Patreon via the link below. You'll get exclusive access to videos and events, as well as more Galaxy-class rewards. As always, please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, because if you're talking about Star Trek, then we want to hear about it. Okay? Engage. No exact size measurements are known for Starfleet's prototype Dauntless-class vessel. It is much larger than a Protostar-class vessel. However, it does retain several design cues from the original Dauntless encountered by the USS Voyager. This includes a streamlined arrowhead primary hull. A near organic transition into the secondary hull was on the rear, with underslung warp nacelles. We'll discuss FTL specifics in just a moment. A breakaway from the inspiration design was the lengthened secondary hull and warp nacelles. Auxiliary impulse engines also appeared to be on Starfleet's Dauntless. Starfleet's Dauntless-class Starship was equipped with both a conventional warp drive system as well as an experimental version of a Quantum Slipstream Drive. This meant the Dauntless could travel at speeds well above warp 9.9. Given the way the Slipstream Drive was designed, the distinctive curved hull of the vessel helped it stay in slipstream. While the Dauntless kept Starfleet's tradition of separate hulls, the warp core was actually located in the saucer section. Typically, this was always in the secondary hull on most Federation starships. Still, the secondary hull of the Dauntless design was still the primary location of most engineering systems. Tactical system-wise, the Dauntless-class was equipped with 4 phaser cannons. The primary cannon was located on Deck E, with 2 forward phaser cannons on Deck B and C. A rear phaser cannon was positioned on Deck E. Standard Starfleet photon torpedo launchers were installed. These were also capable of launching micro-torpedoes. Deck G was the location of a vertical torpedo launcher, which was used for firing quantum torpedoes. In terms of interior spaces, the Dauntless featured holodecks, quarters, and science labs. All of these were located within the primary hull area of the starship. In an unusual move from Starfleet, the ship's internal areas were divided into 8 sections from top to bottom. The bridge of Starfleet's Dauntless class was compact and efficient. It was somewhat similar to the fake Dauntless class bridge. A central chair for the commanding officer was located in the center of the bridge, 2 steps down from the main entrance to the location. The only other chair on the bridge was the one for the helm area. Other officers would need to be standing along the sides of the bridge at consoles which lined the walls, as well as a few consoles at the rear of the bridge. Other locations of the Dauntless class included sickbay, quarters for senior staff, transporter rooms, mess halls, the brig, and airlocks. The Dauntless class Starfleet design was inspired by a fake starship, also called the USS Dauntless, encountered by the Intrepid-class USS Voyager during the time in the Delta Quadrant. An alien being known as Arcturus had actually constructed this to get revenge on the Voyager's crew for being involved in the destruction of his homeworld via the Borg. While the fake Dauntless was eventually lost, Voyager did conduct a thorough scan of the starship. It appears that Starfleet drew inspiration from the design. After the USS Voyager returned home, the Dauntless-class project was in production, based on the data gathered from the fake starship in the Delta Quadrant. Former USS Voyager Chief Engineer, B'Elanna Torres, was the project leader in designing the new Starfleet Dauntless-class starship. Like the fake version, this new design was also equipped with a limited form of Quantum Slipstream Drive, a new form of faster than light travel. With the disappearance of Captain Chakotay and the newly launched USS Protostar, the Dauntless was placed under the command of Vice Admiral Catherine Janeway, who went out in search of her longtime friend and the missing ship. In 2384, the Dauntless and her crew tracked the proto-warp signature of the USS Protostar to the location of Tars Lamora. There, they found the individual known as the Diviner in stasis. The Dauntless then tracked the Protostar to the communication relay station CR-721, where the crew was shocked to discover it had been destroyed with no signs of survivors. Janeway knew Chakotay would never commit such an act, and presumed the Protostar was under the control of someone else. Eventually, the Dauntless caught up with the Protostar and was able to disable the ship with a photon torpedo, which took out the Protostar drive. Unfortunately, the Protostar had wandered into the Romulan neutral zone, in which the Dauntless was confronted by 3 D-Deredex-class warbirds. The Dauntless was unable to pursue. Janeway's Dauntless resumed its pursuit and was able to merge its warp field with the Protostar's. The Dauntless shot several phaser shots of the Protostar, but were unable to penetrate its shielding. Eventually, the Protostar wound up facing a Starfleet armada, in which the Dauntless joined. After a rogue ensign on board the ship activated a hidden weapon, Starfleet ships started firing on each other. The Dauntless was also infected, forced to attack other ships like the Akira-class vessels present. Thankfully, the Dauntless and other vessels were eventually freed from the control of the living construct, thanks to the destruction of the USS Protostar. After the Dauntless was severely damaged due to the living construct engagement, Admiral Janeway and some of her senior staff would transfer to the newly launched Lamar-class USS Voyager A. It's unknown what became of the Dauntless. The ship was likely salvaged and then repaired. Let's talk about the design of the Dauntless class. Naturally, we all think of a Dauntless type that appeared in Star Trek Voyager. Of course, in universe, we're told that Starfleet took inspiration from that. Here in the behind the scenes, that is obviously the same given the similarities in the ship design. The key design for the new Dauntless was that it needed to be both intimidating and bigger than a USS Protostar, which was the hero ship of Star Trek Prodigy. Rather than invent something totally new, the show's creators, Kevin and Dan Hageman, wanted to use something that was already established in Star Trek canon. Initially, author David Mack, who was a consultant on Star Trek Prodigy, suggested the ship chasing a Protostar should be Riker's lunar-class USS Titan. Due to the fellow production of Star Trek Lower Decks, which was using the USS Titan, Prodigy had to turn elsewhere. Mack then suggested the Dauntless from Voyager, but longtime Star Trek fans may remember that the Dauntless would appear in an episode of Star Trek Enterprise. This did complicate the history of the Starship. The Star Trek Prodigy writers then saw this story as an opportunity to address why an alternate future Starfleet would have access to the Dauntless. Originally, the producers planned to use the same model from Voyager of the Dauntless. Producer and director, Ben Hibben, would later take the model and modify it. Sadly, the producers never determined the exact size of the new Dauntless, as they simply wanted it to be larger than the Protostar. Ben Hibben took the original Dauntless model and reworked it. The first version would remain very close to the original, with only subtle changes. Later, he would refine the proportions and add more surface detail. Eventually, more changes were made as the writing team wanted Starfleet's Dauntless class to look more primitive than the alien version. One of the key changes between the Dauntless and the Starfleet one was breaking the smooth curve on the ship's back, so that you could clearly see the separate saucer and secondary hull sections. In October 2023, the MMO video game of Star Trek Online introduced the Dauntless 2 to its game. Star Trek Online players can now command the vessel, as seen in Star Trek Prodigy. Also, in August 2025, Fanhome released their Starship model of the USS Dauntless for collectors. You can check out Trek Central's review of that one via our website. So that's our detailed breakdown of Starfleet's new and improved Dauntless class, as seen in the animated series of Star Trek Prodigy. What do you think of this design? Is it a Starship you would have liked to have seen more of? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Like always, if you want to keep up to date on the latest Star Trek news, lore and more, then make sure to hit that subscribe button to never miss a video from the team here at Trek Central. You can also follow us on social media or join our community Discord server. And now, I've been Captain Jack, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Live long and prosper, my friends. Goodbye.